Okay, so for document D, is called Popular Opinion and Racism in the North. And we again have a little quote here, an explanation from the Boston Evening Transcript. Again, that would be Northern newspaper. And then a political cartoon here that was in Harper's Weekly in 1874. So, some side notes. The only way that Reconstruction was going to succeed was if Northerners wanted it to do so. Resistance was strong in the South, as documents A and B show. The crusade of the Civil War left many Northerners willing to continue the aggressive radical Reconstruction policies for a while. But eventually, fatigue, money, and the death of the most important radicals left many in the North exhausted and frustrated. So, again, they kind of just gave up. The North kind of just gave up, as we saw in A and B. And now D also kind of showing this. So one reason Northerners tired of Reconstruction has been traced to the racism that existed in the North. Yes, there was racism in the North as well. As Blacks were being brutalized in the South, many Northerners turned a blind eye to the problem and even began seeing Blacks as the cause of their own problems. In her 2001 book, The Death of Reconstruction: Race, Labor, and Politics in the Post-Civil War North, Heather Richardson makes a convincing case that Northern public opinion changed in the early 1870s. Newspapers and cartoonists who had originally portrayed the slave as a hardworking, freedom-seeking American began to show Blacks as lazy and corrupt and of low character in general. Richardson argues that the freedman was in part the victim of the Northern middle class becoming increasingly fearful of immigrants and labor unions, many of whom advocated socialist-like ideas. This shift in attitude towards Southern Blacks is not surprising, given that many Northern states had tight restrictions on Black suffrage, which again is voting, until the 15th Amendment was passed. So they're saying that that racism and discrimination began to evolve in the North, and not for the better. And then, if Northern racism was the reason the federal government became less interested in Reconstruction, then who was really responsible for bringing Reconstruction to an end? Was it Northerners who were unwilling to force change, or Southerners who used violence and terrorism to resist change? Again, that's our analytical question. That's at the heart of the matter. So go ahead, use the quote and the cartoon to answer, according to the letter from the Boston Evening Transcript. Why did some people believe Blacks were unfit to be government officials? How does the letter from the Boston Evening Transcript show that racism existed in the North? How does the Harper's Weekly cover depict Black politicians in the South? So this is based on this. And then how does this cartoon and the letter help explain why Northerners lost interest in Reconstruction? So using the letter and this, you'll answer that question.